હોય અને આવીને બેસવા તૈયાર હોય તો આપણે શું ખબર હોય ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી હોય એ આપણને આપતા હોય એટલે લેટ કર્યું છે તરત રૂલ લેટ એમઓયુ એક્સચેન્જ પડશે ટ્રાય કરી રહ્યા છે કે એઝ soon as possible they reach here and our program. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being patient, and I wish that the points which they are going to discuss in the entire pattern discussion will be great value to your basic understanding of what industry thinks about the IT culture, the academia contribution as far as Indian
panel discussion on future of work culture in IT sector and role of academia in Indian tech industry. One quote comes to my mind. અહીંયા જેટલા પણ બેઠેલા છે નામ આપણે સહયોગ આપ્યું છે. So what does it actually mean? I need some answer from students. Why the name Sahyog has been given? તમારા કોઈ ઇનપુટ્સ સહયોગનો actual અર્થ શું થાય છે? Anyone else? Contribution, then collaboration, sahyog in terms of collaboration. Okay, I can take that thing on my mind too. Anything else? Throna answer khali. Support, exactly. So one quote comes on my mind. दूसरों को सहयोग देना ही, I repeat, दूसरों को सहयोग देना ही उनको अपना सहयोगी बनाना होता है. Am I right or wrong? આપણે કોઈને સહયોગ આપીએ તો કોઈ આપણને હેલ્પ કરશે. આંગળી આપીશું તો હાથ આપશે. Yes or no? That's what we are doing, where we are actually giving our hand, or we can say a finger, to all these industry experts to help us, to guide us, to ignite the beautiful minds which are actually yet innocent in front of us. So now taking this thing forward, generally token of gratitude ceremony is done at the end of any event. But let us just change this stereotype thing. What I would like to do is, I would like to first do this memento ceremony before this panel discussion and the MOU sign. If Chirag sir permits. So I would like to call upon, firstly, Shah sir is present. So let's start with him. I would like to call upon Dr. Ashin Shah sir. All of us know, but જે સેમેસ્ટર 3 માં હમણાં આવે છે એમના માટે આપણા સર પહેલાના HOD શાહ સર હતા. So I would like to call upon Dr. Ashin Shah sir, and for this token of gratitude will be presented by our current HOD, Professor Dr. Chirag S. Thakur. Next, we'll start with the felicitation of our guests today who are present here. I would like to call upon Dr. Hardik Joshi sir. He is actually assistant professor at Rolwala MCA department, Gujarat University. A warm welcome, sir. And to present in this memento, we would like to call upon Tushar Champaneria sir. Prashant Halari sir, and Professor Bhavesh Oza sir will present in the moment. Rajesh Shah sir and Professor Maitrik Shah will present in the category of photo. Miss Neha Shah. Amita ma'am will offer her the token of gratitude. Pandya ma'am will take on. Mr. Siddhar Shah, Dr. Rajlakshmi Jaiswal, Mr. Hitesh Bheda, Professor Pragnesh Patel will offer him gratitude. Okay, Professor S. A. Patel sir will Mr. Roshan Rawal. Amita ma'am will offer him gratitude. Mr. Deep Patel, Professor Hetal Kevaria, Professor Mehta. Lastly, we have Krupal Chaudhary, Mr. Krupal Chaudhary. Sunil Patel, sir. So I guess we are done with our presentation. Moving ahead with the next part of the we have the MOU sign off and exchange ceremony. Now the further program will be anchored by
Thank you, Prachina. Good evening, everyone. I am Priya, and this is my co-host Tanvi. Today marks a historic day, as we have met here today for the event of MOU sign and exchange ceremony. As the name of this event, Sahyog, rightly points to the fact that the key to building partnerships, whether they are amongst IT sectors or amongst companies, is a profound spirit of reciprocal obligation, a readiness to share the work, to share the credit, and in the end, what it will require the most is a spirit of mutual trust. The memorandum of understanding we signed today is the beginning of what we believe to be a long relationship in which we will learn with and from each other through cooperative academic pursuits. This partnership is an opportunity to address shared concerns, identify common interests, and foster greater understanding of the IT sector. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding today between the Computer Engineering Department of the prestigious LD College of Engineering and the various esteemed industrialists. For the very first MOU signing, I consider it a great honor to welcome Ms. Neha Shah, the co-founder and CTO of Test Data Systems. She is also an alumni of our very own LDC. I also re- I also request Professor Kalpesh Patel sir to come on the stage and carry out the MOU signing and exchange. Bhavish Purda sir will do the MOU signing. Please, sir. Mr. Kupal Chaudhary. His company has been helping startups to enterprise grow better with their web, mobile apps, custom software, games, and AI development services that accelerate sales growth. Next, we look forward for the presence of Professor Hetal Pandya ma'am on the stage for the MOU signing and exchange. It is my privilege to invite Mr. Roshan Rawat, who is the founder, managing director at Exposit Immersive Solutions Private Limited, that specializes in AR, VR, metaverse, and 3D experience. I'm also glad to welcome Professor Tushar Champaneria onto the dais to carry out the MOU signing and exchange. With equal pleasure, I invite Mr. Siddharth Shah onto the stage. He is the co-founder of IOI Softwares. He has completed his master's in computer science from Columbia University. Apart from that, he is also an alumni of LDC. It will now be the turn of Professor Rajalakshmi Jaiswal ma'am to come on the stage and execute the process of MOU signing and exchange. Proceeding further, now it's my honor. Now, it's my honor, and I am really delighted as I call Mr. Prashant Khalari sir, who is the co-founder and CEO at Sinoverge Technologies. Not only this, but also the co-founder and CTO at Value Shifter. And I would also like to invite our Professor Dr. Chirag S. Thake sir, to please come onto the stage to proceed with MOU Sign and Exchange program. Moving ahead, now I would like to call Mr. Hitesh Bheda sir, who is the co-founder of Mivi Data Consultancy and also AWS Community Builder and AWS Certified. I'm also glad to invite our Professor Hetal Gevaria ma'am to please come onto the stage to extend the MOU sign and exchange. It makes me feel pleasure as I invite the co-founder and COO of Zybra, Mr. Deep Patel, who owns a fast and simple business app for SMBs. For this, I would like to invite our Professor Prachi Pancholi ma'am to please come onto the stage to carry on with MOU sign and exchange. The next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Mr. Rajesh Shah, who is the head of automation at Meditech, and it gives me great honor as I would like to invite our Professor Vimal Waghela sir onto the stage to complete the MOU sign and exchange ceremony. With this immense trust and long-lasting hope of Sahyog, we present our gratitude to this strong bond between the department and various growing companies, not by doing big, but by just giving it a huge round of applause. Thank you, Tanvi. Our goal today is that whatever your role is in this industry, that you will come away with something, a new idea, a fresh perspective, a new strategy that you can apply to become more successful in your business. Ma'am, I have a long-standing dilemma. The last 2 years have forced the entire world to adapt and work from home. Many have discovered that the sector that has thrived to work from home was the IT sector. As work from home is extremely efficient for the individuals working in IT, is it possible that this discovery has the potential to change the future of work culture in the IT sector?
Yes, Priya. This question needs to be answered, but our panelists will definitely apply their thorough mind for this answer when we do panel discussion. Nevertheless, in these trying times and current trends, it is an essential thing which needs to be discussed. Apart from this, one thing strikes my mind is that don't make up your mind on specific topic. Come in with a perspective that you are intensely interested in that topic. And thereby, you will gain definite, or we can say, you will cover tangible boundaries and you will gain insights by questioning the panel. So hereby, I warmly welcome and invite the panelists. For today's session, we have 4 panelists on the dais, and we welcome Mr. Prashant Khalari sir. Then next we have Ms. Neha Patel, Neha Shah. Neha Shah. Next we have Mr. Hitesh Bheda. Next we have Mr. Deep Patel. These are our 4 panelists here. thorough discussion, we have one academician present over here, and I would like to call upon Dr. S. સેન્ટરમાં કોઈ ક્વેશ્ચન આન્સર વાળું કે કોઈ મોડરેટર હોવું જોઈએ. So we have Dr. Hardik sir to be a moderator over here. Which will lead to fruitful discussion. So let's start our panel discussion, sir.
Hello. Thank you, all of you. So it's a usually we try to discuss whatever is for the benefit of takeaways are for students and for both
and it needs to go to HDFC Bank, right? And thereby I need to deduct money. So by the time you even cross, let's say 100 meters, right? The amount has been actually deducted from your bank account. So that entire software is actually being built by us. So there are several complex systems which we develop. The underlying commonality between all these projects or softwares we develop is one, it has multiple components of it, right? So whatever you guys would have studied or study in, let's say, next 4 years of your engineering course, it actually encompasses everything. It has algorithm, it has web, it has mobile, it has BI, it has analytics, it has machine learning. So it encompasses multiple things. I can keep going on and give you so many examples. But these are two great examples which actually deals with record millions of transactions almost on a daily basis, right? I mean, I know HDFC Ergo, Mr. Parekh once told us that now it generates 70% of their revenue through the system, right, through the online platform. And then the remaining 20% comes from likes of Policy Bazaar and Echo. Again, that integration has also been done by our team. So these are the kind of projects we typically do in industry.
Well, for girls, we have Neha madam. She is also from industry, and usually earlier, before 10, 20 years, there were less women in IT industry. But now, we have a eminent personality from industry. So the same question to you, madam. What kind of projects do you handle, and how can students get engaged in such kind of projects when they are studying?
So I'm from Crest Data Systems, and our company specializes into building products and integrations in data analytics. So we mostly work with lot of data, and especially getting the business sense out of data. Our domain is still we work with lot of security and small cyber security startups. So unlike working with retail data and all the online data, we are very niche, specializing into getting data of like getting business sense out of your data from the threat intelligence point of view, or like looking through your security data, your IT data, and looking at alerts and how your entire IT infrastructure could be secure. So that's what we are working on. In terms of how you can engage with certain this type of projects and data, I think as Prashant sir rightly mentioned, all of these projects have several components. So you'll be building your front end, you'll be building your back end, so you'll be building your DevOps infrastructure, you'll be building your databases. So I think learning through all these components throughout your academics, I think, and building those strong fundamentals through your academics will help you become successful in any domain you go to as a career. So I think just focus on your core subjects, go deeper into your subjects, and like be really really good at learning your core fundamentals. And I think you can engage with, I think the domain doesn't really matter when you step into your professional career, but having those fundamentals can make you successful in industry.
So, as Madam said, building strong fundamentals is the first requirement, and you have very good professors here who are helping for this foundation. Uh, we have Professor Shah sir. So, Professor sir has been helping students for projects since many years. Earlier days, there used to be expert systems. Now we have what is AIML. Expert systems was also considered to be under the umbrella of AI. So, sir, if I was a student, I would plan of building huge system, ERP system. So, how can a student justify a project in 6 months? This प्रोजेक्ट कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए, और एक ही छोटा सा मॉड्यूल करे या बहुत सारे मॉड्यूल करे, और अभी AIML और सब बहुत कुछ है, तो स्टूडेंट को डिसीजन कैसे लेना चाहिए?
You see, the two industry experts have already mentioned regarding what type of the work they are doing in their company. Now, as far as the academic aspect is concerned, you know that there is a affiliation to the university, and you have to you have to work with the restrictions which are put by the university. And as madam has already mentioned, that the core subjects are very important. That is the foundation, and you have to build your career or the other elective subjects on that core subjects. So as far as the sir's question is concerned regarding the project, so ideally from the fourth semester and onwards, if a student can opt for a mini project in each of the subject, then that particular option gives an option to the student to apply what he or she has studied in that particular subject. So that is one way. The other difficulty which we were finding out, and for that the GTU has found out a solution, is regarding the internship. So for in the 8th semester, there is a full semester internship where a student has to go to the industry and carry out a work, sometimes on the live project which is given by the company. So it depends on your interest and your inclination.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. स्टूडेंट्स जब फाइनल ईयर में पहुंचते हैं तो उनको कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी पे काम करना है, बिकॉज वंस दे सिलेक्ट अ टेक्नोलॉजी देन इट्स बिकम सॉर्ट ऑफ बॉटल नेक, देन एंटायर कैरियर दे हैव टू मेक इन दैट टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड जनरली द टेक्नोलॉजी इज डिसाइडेड व्हेन दे आर इन इंटर्नशिप. आप जब प्रोजेक्ट लेने जाओगे, सपोज अ कंपनी से यू हैव टू वर्क इन जावा, मतलब आपकी पूरी लाइफ जावा में चली जाएगी, ऐसा मेरा मानना है. दीप सर विल से वेदर इट इज ट्रू और फॉल्स, और इंटर्नशिप के टाइम पे आपको क्या क्या देखना पड़ता है.
In for our company, I think it is false. We hire people who can do programming. We don't hire people who can do programming in one particular language or framework. So today, we have employees, we have software developers, senior software developers who work on JavaScript as well, on Python as well, and so basically you should be knowing how to do programming. That's the criteria which we look for. I think that answers the question.
थैंक यू सर. इसका मतलब ये लग रहा है कि स्टूडेंट जावा में बहुत काम करता है और उसको लगे कि मुझे पाइथन में करना है, तो देर इज फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, दे कैन स्विच द प्लेटफॉर्म्स, बट नेचुरली द फंडामेंटल्स हैव टू बी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, एल्गोरिदम्स जितना अच्छा आता है, you can switch the technology easily. Well, since a few years I have been hearing cloud computing ऐसा कुछ मैं सुन रहा हूँ. इनफैक्ट मैं और प्रोफेसर चिराग सर, हम लोग 10 साल पहले भी क्लाउड का सिलेबस बना रहे थे. बुक्स नहीं थी हमारे पास. वाइल फ्रेमिंग सिलेबस बुक्स नहीं होती है क्लाउड की. आजकल उल्टा होने लगा है कि कौन सी बुक में से बनाए, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी जल्दी बदल जाती है. इफ़ वी फ्रेम सिलेबस फ्रॉम अ बुक, 2 साल में वो टेक्नोलॉजी बिल्कुल अलग ही होती है. वी हैव हितेश सर, ही इज़ AWS कम्युनिटी बिल्डर, तो ही इज़ मच मोर विथ क्लाउड, और उनका काम भी है कम्युनिटी बनाना क्लाउड के लिए. सर, व्हाट डू यू फील, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग आगे के टाइम में कितना हेल्पफुल होगा, और स्टूडेंट को क्लाउड सीखना चाहिए कि नहीं सीखना चाहिए?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So my opinion is like, as Deep sir, madam, everyone has mentioned, everyone should have the fundamental knowledge. The technology should not be the barrier. It is a secondary thing. Now comes to the point of cloud. Cloud would be there in the tomorrow's field. So everybody needs to move on the cloud. But again, it is not having a limitation as of now. Every day, every week or every month, we will have a new catalog from AWS or GCP or Azure. So you have to be very much flexible in terms of cloud as well. If we will speak something about the storage or the computation or any other particular parameters, then it can be different tomorrow. So we need to think about what we are looking for, how many people are working on that particular product, or what exactly our expectation is. And accordingly, we should decide which type of platform, which type of cloud platform we should decide. So yes, certainly the future of cloud is definitely brighter. And as a community builder, every day we have many things to discuss, and it's a global community. So it's not like that I'm using one component, somebody is using other Y approach, somebody will be using Z approach. So everybody has different approaches, and we need to just identify which one is the best according to our need. So that's what my perspective is. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to open this platform. Madam, if you want to say anything, how you use cloud in your environment and how students can take some dummy projects and they can work with cloud.
So we build products for our customers, and we see this trend these days that customers don't want to manage their own deployment. It's a lot of work, right? Rather than putting my energy into maintaining my deployments, managing storage, managing my core CPU, etc., I would rather put my energy into building innovation products, etc. So I think most of our customers are going towards manage cloud deployments and stuff like that. So I think if you're building a product right now, I think we're all used to creating our small products, projects, etc. on our laptops, right, physically on our hard disk. So I think start playing with cloud little bit, start to just put like use Amazon, GCP, Azure, any cloud of your choice. I think all of them have the same fundamentals, but start deploying your small projects on cloud, start playing with those parameters. I'm not a cloud expert, but I think whatever I can understand, and maybe Hitesh sir can maybe explain a little bit better, but I think just having basic cloud fundamentals are okay for now during your engineering duration.
Thank you so much. Uh, well, I know a person, one of my friend, since 2010 he is doing work from home. मुझे भी 15-16 में एक ऑफर आई थी कि आपको हम लोग रिक्रूट करेंगे लेकिन आपको घर से काम करना है, तो आई वॉज नॉट कन्विंस कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है. फायरफॉक्स कंपनी हैड गिवन एन ऑफर कि यू स्टे इन इंडिया बट यू वर्क फॉर यूएस. तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या करें इसमें. सैलरी अच्छी थी लेकिन ऑफिस के बिना काम कैसे करें. तो वर्क फ्रॉम होम वॉज अर्लियर देयर इन आईटी. Nowadays, post-COVID, work from home has some companies making it mandatory. अभी भी, even today, I know few companies they are offering work from home. तो प्रशांत सर, वर्क फ्रॉम होम और जो ऑफिस में काम होता है, हाउ डज इट डिफर स्किल वाइज फॉर फ्रेशर? वर्क फ्रॉम होम कितना अच्छा है या ऑफिस आके काम करना कितना अच्छा है, और उसमें टेक अवेज क्या होते हैं?
So as you rightly said, work from home is actually not a new concept. It existed in the US for a long, right? So I remember even today, in the US, if there's a work, there are many people who do work from home even before the COVID actually came in, right? But it's about discipline. That's the first thing. I have seen that when they work from home, there is literally a separate office kind of a setup within the house where they go, they work, and they don't stand up. In India, that's not possible because our houses are not structured in that way, right? Because you will possibly, let's say, hear someone cooking, someone shouting, all those things will happen, right? So I think that's more of a physical limitation because Indian houses are not, and even families, right? I mean, in US, I know when I used to work from home, I know my family will not even come to that room because it's a very strict this thing, right? You can't even walk in there. But in India, I've seen even during the COVID days, we used to kind of, I mean, literally started knowing all my senior team members, family members during COVID. Because I used to see them on the camera everywhere around, right? While the calls were going on. So that's the first kind of thing. Second is how serious you are, right? Because at the end of the day, if you are not serious, whether you are in the office or you're working from home, it always is going to be a challenge. But from your perspective, and I'm assuming this is a freshman, right? A fresh batch here. I guess it's important that you need to work in a more of a team and a collaboration approach, and that is where I think working from office makes a lot more sense. One, because you get to learn from, let's say, your colleagues, your senior. Because let's say when you come to let's say an industry, right, you get to work from, let's say, even freshers from other engineering colleges, or you get to work from, let's say, people who have spent, let's say, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years in the industry, right? So there's a lot of learning which happens. Third, the collaboration, right? I mean, I was recently taking an interview of a fresh student from one of the college. I don't want to name the college, but so we actually say that we are a team of 3 people who were working on the project. And a very common scenario, when you talk to people, they say there are 3 people working on the project. And my question is, what exactly was your role? He's like, no, no, sir, 3 of us, हम तीनों एक project पे काम कर रहे थे. And we were all working on same thing. I said, were you working on same laptop, same keyboard? So you were literally splitting the keyboard and said, I'll work on this side of the keys. And so the teamwork, right? When you come to a real life experience, real life environment, when you're in the office, the teamwork gets much sharper, right? I think from your perspective, if even if you're given an option to work from home, I would suggest don't take it. If you really want to work, if you really want to grow fast in your career, do not offer work from home, work from office. There's a lot of learning, I mean, you'll actually make new friends. You'll actually understand the discipline, right? Even discipline in the college versus discipline in the industry, it's a huge difference, right? You really need to learn some of those things. You need to learn to manage the internal politics, internal dynamics. Those things you'll be able to do only when you come to the office. You're on the spot, actually matters, right? And more importantly, the emotional bonding, right, with your colleagues and your organization will only come in when you are in the office. Through conference calls, you will never be able to get that bonding. So my very genuine suggestion to all of you is, do not ever opt work from home for at least initial 2 to 3 years of your career.
Sir, can you share your experience? Work from home आपने कैसे किया?
So COVID ने सबको work from home करवाया. So uh, after COVID happened, actually we had to shut down the office, and our entire team was completely working from home. So and current once like the lockdowns were lifted and people were allowed to go office, हमारे वहाँ पे सिचुएशन ऐसा था दैट एम्प्लॉयज यूज टू टेल अस दैट सर आप मत करो वर्क फ्रॉम होम. हम लोग यहाँ पे सेट अच्छे से सेट हो गए. एंड फॉर अस इट डिडंट मैटर बिकॉज हम लोग का जो मतलब डिलीवरेबल्स होते हैं, हर एक एम्प्लॉयज़ के जो डिलीवरेबल्स होते थे, वो सब अचीव हो रहे थे. तो देन आई थिंक वी टुक अ कॉल टू हैव अ हाइब्रिड एनवायरनमेंट, जहाँ पे लाइक करंटली 50% ऑफ आवर टीम इज़ वर्किंग फ्रॉम ऑफिस. There are developers who are working from Bangalore, there are developers who are working from Hyderabad, and then like there are some people who are in Ahmedabad but working from home, and they come up for weekly meetings and stuff. So this is how we have structured the environment. So I would say the entire IT shifted towards this hybrid kind of model where you can work from home plus work from office and stuff.
So संजय सर, आप वर्क फ्रॉम होम और नॉर्मल जो ऑफिस में काम करते हैं, करिकुलम में कोई चेंजेस की जरूर है या करिकुलम इज ओके विथ आइदर ऑफ द ऑप्शंस?
So I think as far as the curriculum is concerned, and if you are talking about work from home, uh, if I take the example of, let us say, LD College of Engineering and the Computer Engineering Department, where you see the maximum students are taking admissions. In the third semester, almost there are 180 students. And if you look at the infrastructure which is available as on today, I think that infrastructure is not going to be sufficient in the near future. And for this particular college, there is one new program on which you have already discussed before, that is AIML. So that also will be taken by this department. So I think that, as Deep has already mentioned, that you will have to, the teaching has to be taken somewhere. For some of the lectures, it should be it should be taken in online mode, where you can with one go you can address 180 students and like that. So that will be the only option in the near future which I see for this college or the other colleges where there is a shortage of faculty and the students are more and there are limitations of the infrastructure. That is one point. As far as the curriculum is concerned, as Deep has mentioned and the Prashant sir has mentioned, even though we have offline teaching, but I suggest that the students of at least computer and IT students should be ready for both the modes, because that is the way the industry, IT industry is going to work. It is going to work in hybrid mode only. So the students should be ready to work in team, in collaboration, in the from the remote work also. So that is what my view.
Thank you.
One comment here, and which is, I will found it in right? As you mentioned, right, and as a generation, I think we need to move on from this whole work from home thing. Right? It's gone, it's past, it's done, right? Now, I mean, aren't we going to vacations? Aren't we going to crowded beaches? Why work from home, right? I think we really need to move on. The amount of productivity you get when you are in the office, right? Yesterday we were having our open house in the office, right? Everyone agrees that the amount of productivity you can gain, right? Even by working for 5 years, you can literally get the start of efficiency. If you work 5 years at home, perhaps you are getting maybe 2 or 3 years of efficiency. It's not accuracy, right? And there can be multiple reasons, right? Not questioning the integrity of an individual here, but that's how our structure is, right? That's how our culture is. I mean, just imagine, why do people go to library to study, right? A very simple question. Versus studying at home, because he or she wants to be in a disciplined environment where they can even discovery, right? Likewise, I think it's for our own good, right? We can take that as a luxury or a benefit, which is fine. If there are occasions where we decide to work from home, say for let us say 15 days, 20 days, without a problem, it's fine. Go and do it. Now that whole model is shifted, but I don't think it can and should become a norm beyond the country.
Thank you, sir. So, well, if I was student, अगर मैं वहाँ पे बैठा होता तो मेरे अंदर एक बहुत ही ईगर क्वेश्चन था. यहाँ पे सब IT एक्सपर्ट्स है, एमिनेंट इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट. तो आई वुड हैव आस्क्ड, सर ऐसी कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी सीखे कि हमें जॉब मिल जाए. कि जावा में जॉब ज़्यादा मिलेगी या एंगुलर में जॉब ज़्यादा मिलेगी, ऐसा क्वेश्चन मेरे दिमाग में तो आता अगर मैं आपकी जगह पे होता. तो यही क्वेश्चन मैं अलग तरीके से फ्रेम करता हूँ, क्योंकि अब मैं आपकी जगह नहीं हूँ. तो मैडम, जो स्टूडेंट्स के प्लेसमेंट्स के टाइम पे कौन सी स्किल्स होनी चाहिए, हाउ दे बिकम एब्जॉर्बेबल टू द कंपनी एंड इमीडिएटली दे कैन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन रियल प्रोजेक्ट्स.
So I know, I think I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. Having your fundamentals really, really good. So when we go for campus interviews, we do basic, online programming test, and we do give them technical round of interview, some HR questions and whatnot. So that's a very standard, I think, interview process that pretty much all of us do. Having what skill is important, I think Deep mentioned or somebody mentioned. I don't think we hire based on do you know Java versus do you know Python, right? Though we are a hardcore Python company and we barely work in Java. When we went on campus interview, the online platform that we gave was completely open. People gave test in C++, people gave test in Java, people gave test in Python. I think what we look for is the programming skills in general. Doesn't matter C++ or Python. So that's one thing. The second thing that we give a lot of importance is good problem solving skill in general. Are you able to think? Are you able to solve a business problem? You can write a program. You can write a programming Java, Python, doesn't matter. And of course, customers would have their own preference on the framework and programming language. So you got to learn that. But a basic problem solving skill, a communication skill is becoming increasingly important in industry. So right now, what we feel is, especially in Gujarat, I think that skill is something that is lacking. And when you start work, nowadays all customers want to work directly with engineers. The old concept where there is a program manager who will work with customer, give you all the requirement, and then developer is only doing the coding, that's going away. Customers are directly communicating with engineers. So having that good articulation skill, good communication skill is becoming very important to become a good engineer, a good programmer also. So if I have to summarize, a good problem solving skill, any programming language, anything that you do has to be good, and having a good communication skills. I think those are the three skills that we look for typically.
Thank you, madam. Hitesh, sir, would you like to add to madam?
Yeah, my answer is almost the same, like madam. I would like to add one or two more points, like the attitude. You should have the great attitude towards any programming language. Suppose you don't know Python, that's our responsibility to learn you Python, to teach you Python. That's what we do at when we generally hire the people. What we usually what we are usually looking into the candidate is the basic or the fundamental knowledge, initiatives, and the attitude.
Thank you. Uh, See, the topic is very interesting and discussion can go on and on. इसका रुकना तो मुश्किल है, but it's all on the schedule. So maybe the last question, and we can discuss it openly later. For Prashant sir, he is a very senior industry person. Sir, usually IT industry, there is a tendency once a candidate joins, after 6 months, 1 year, he tries to escape with a better salary. So, if you can share your experience in this regard.
I think if you're escaping for the salary, it's a long move. Trust me. Say as an organization, right? And let me rephrase this, okay? So, how many of you play sports? बहुत पढ़ने वाले बच्चे सब यहाँ पे. All right. So a sportsman, right? A Virat Kohli, when he plays, he never plays for a century, right? I think that's an outcome. So winning is important, right? And like in our professional career, jump. If it's 6 months to 2 years, 2 years to 4 years, you can continue to jump. But beyond the point, in the process of jumping and saving the salary and money, if your resume is not strong enough, right, it starts falling very. And then you will hit sort of a feeling or a roadblock of where let's say you can't get a desired role, you can't get a desired salary. I have seen people with let's say 10 years, 15 years of experience and not even let's say going beyond let's say playing a role of a project leader or a tech lead for it. So I think the what you should rather focus on is, am I chasing the right project, right? Am I chasing the right opportunity for me? I think that's a very important factor in the life, right? And as in sports, right? I mean, I do a lot of sports actually. So your first shot always matters, right? Whether it's tennis, your first serve always matters. If you're playing, let's say cricket, the first 5 overs will matter. If you're playing golf, the first shot where the ball is landing is obviously going to matter. If you're running, the first let's say 1 kilometer, right? If you're doing 10-kilometer run, the first 1 kilometer, how much time you're taking and what momentum you pick up, those things will matter. So my genuine suggestion to each one of you is stop chasing the salary. Salary will follow, right? There are pan ka galla wala who is probably earning a lot more than you, right? But that's not the way we want to become, right? I think we all are engineers, professionals. We are solution givers. We are thinkers, right? I think important for us to chase the right opportunity, right project. If you're, I mean, as I said, right, if you're changing for a right project because you're not getting the right opportunity in your current organization, you are rightfully justified in doing that. But just because someone is offering you 40% more salary is really not the right move. I mean, I've gone through two colleges, right, both in my engineering and MBA, and I've seen where some of our other colleagues are who kind of continued, let's say, running behind the money. At one point in time, the theory of let's say compounding stops working. It doesn't work, right? I can't compound my salary 20% every year. It just doesn't work that way, right? But it works if you're fundamentally and foundationally strong, right? If you're bringing that value because people are valuing your skills, not what your last employer is giving you, right? That's between you and last employer. But what I am paying you is based on what you are getting, what your expertise are, what you're bringing to the table, right? And therefore, I would really suggest that please do not chase salaries, don't chase money. You will be in the middle of nowhere after 5 years. Trust me.
Thank you so much. So the time is running, and there are few other. So I would like to end the panel discussion here. So to conclude, what the panelists say, first, build very strong fundamentals. Your fundamental skills has to be very strong. आपका जो C++ data structure है अच्छी तरह से करना है. Another is, as Deep sir said, programming platform is not that stringent. आप कोई भी platform कभी भी आप change कर सकते हो. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि जो प्रोजेक्ट मिला उसी में आपका कैरियर करना है. जैसे सर ने बताया क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग, मैडम ने कहा कि जितना हो सके उतना आप एक्सप्लोर करो तो आपको आपके लिए फ्यूचर में कभी भी फ़ायदा हो सकता है. एंड लास्टली एज सर से डोंट गो बिहाइंड सैलरी, बिल्ड गुड प्रोजेक्ट, बिल्ड गुड कंपनी रिलेशनशिप. थोड़ा डिसिप्लिन से भी काम करना है जब वर्क फ्रॉम होम ये कुछ करना है तो these are the takeaways for all the students. And thank you so much all the panelists. Professor sir, thank you so much. I hope the discussion was successful. Okay, so well, yeah, if we have some time, so we can take couple of questions from student में किसी को कोई question हो for any panelist या मुझे भी कुछ पूछना हो. शर्माने की कोई जरूर नहीं है. कोई जेन्युइन क्वेश्चन हो. Yes, yes.
Suppose if you would like to go away with the certification, then there are a couple of cloud platforms available like AWS, GCP, Azure. These are the market. You should start with the fundamentals. There are again different hierarchy available. Suppose if you would like to go with the AWS, then you should start with the AWS Cloud Practitioner. Then you can go with the AWS Cloud Solution Architect Associate. You can start with AWS certified solution architect developer, then DevOps, etc. So it's a long story, and there is no a particular point where you can start. So the different platforms are there, but you can start with anything, and it is almost similar to provider to provider. You just need to decide to whom you would like to select, whether it's a Google or Microsoft product or AWS or any other leaders like Zoho or anything. So you can start your journey like that way. Thank you.
Well, this reminds me, even I am AWS ambassador. मैं AWS का marketing करता हूँ as such. And I teach my students AWS. There is a online conference probably on 29th September. I'll share the link with Chirag sir. Sir, आपको आगे करेंगे. Within 3 hours you will learn what is AWS. Just 3 hours. And there is a meetup on 17th December. Probably it's planned in Ambedkar Open University. 17th December. अगर आपकी एग्जाम नहीं है तो आप AWS कम्युनिटी अहमदाबाद में सर्च करो. यू कैन अटेंड द इवेंट एट अम्बेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी. अभी पाइपलाइन में है बट इट सून विल गेट अनाउंस्ड. या एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? यू कैन टेक वन क्वेश्चन. So it seems everyone is satisfied. It reflects that this discussion was quite fruitful. Question नहीं? Okay, so we end the panel discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of the discussion.
So that was incredibly a good discussion among us. We got to know a lot about the industrialists, their experiences, and we also learned like building the fundamentals is important before jumping onto any new technologies of the time like AWS and cloud computing. We must learn first the basics like CS and C++. Also, we got to learn that choosing offline mode is more important. We would learn about like the internal politics, ethics, and as ma'am added, like to learn more the communication skills and the attitude towards the seniors. We'll learn that. So definitely to choose the offline mode is important. Moving ahead, we also learned that the cloud computing part and the AWS things. So, like these little questions, and we have the big answers of the really experienced people, which makes the newbies to conquer this technical world and create the big difference. By processing, like whenever we do a progress in all of the achievements, we do mistakes surely, but mistakes increases your experiences, and experience gradually decreases your mistake. Before concluding this session, I would like to call our HOD of the department, Professor Dr. Chirag S. Thakur sir, onto the stage to please share thoughts with us.
There have been many apologies, many thank yous. On 23rd of this month, at WRM Hall, which is at Vishwakarma, which is known as Vishwakarma Hall, AWS community meet is already there. And my only question to you out there is what is the marketing interest? So if you are anyway, so AWS Technology 23rd, you can book if you are available in terms of your academic engagement. Yes, for students, it's there is number one is we could not provide the EC environment when we started the round table. Same is with the laboratory, but because the entire building is under renovation, even my cabin is under renovation. So next time perhaps we would be able to provide you better environment. But anyway, it's an apology to all students because we waited almost 1.5 hours. That's 90 minutes is anyway great. अगर मैं होता तो खड़ा होकर चला जाता. Thank you very much for that. Third apology is to all the faculty members because they were very busy with their academic schedule, but still they kept on adding things. Whatever you have observed here, 4 major activities under one event, one round table, one exhibition, and this board. It is their brain chat. It is their effort. We worked around the clock almost 10 days, so entire credit goes to them. So let us have a round of applause for every faculty member of Computer Engineering Department. टेक्नोलॉजी तो पब्लिकली करनी चाहिए. अब मैं पीछे प्रशांत एंड because when we visited his office we found कि यार तो बहुत बड़ा आदमी है because उसकी 7 floor की office है. But I still call him Prashant because we are very good friends. I attended his marriage also. I from his side and my wife from his wife's side. So that's how our relationship goes. I visited him in Mumbai and he gave me one book which he has written. The book is still there in my home library. Prashant is a very good friend of mine and the biggest part is he said yes, मैं आ जाऊँगा. और उनका जो प्रोफाइल है वो प्रोफाइल में he was part of the panel और बहुत अच्छा सोफा पे प्रशांत बैठे हुए, बहुत अच्छा एम्बियंस. आज हमने वही प्रशांत को इसी मतलब अपने गवर्नमेंट सेटअप में उनको बिठा के हमने उनसे बहुत अच्छा किया. सो प्रशांत, थैंक यू वेरी मच एंड वी होप आवर रिलेशनशिप प्रोफेशनली एंड पर्सनली विल कीप ऑन ग्रोइंग. Neha madam, Neha Shah is our alumni and she readily accepted. Actually 2-3 महीने से हम लोग किसी और प्रोजेक्ट में भी we were trying to collaborate but that could not materialize. But when I said this is a very big event and your presence will not only help us but because we have many girl students, we wanted to have more number of female executives at the apex positions so that it becomes a very good boost to our girl students also. So thank you Neha for accepting our invitation. You are our alumni also. So हम लोग ये मान के चलते हैं कि आप सालों साल आती रहेंगी. Actually, my speech was in English, but Hardik sir compelled me to speak in Hindi. He said, "चलो भाई हिंदी करो." हिंदी पखवाड़ा सप्ताह हम लोग सर वैसे भी सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. So Hitesh Bheda is a family. So Hitesh is Dr. Hitesh. Actually, being an industrialist and then completing PhD is a very big challenge. But he really did that, and he's a very genuine human being at heart. And he's again a very good friend of mine. And as I said, he's like family. So मैंने बोल दिया भाई आपको आना है. So he said fine. He is not very good with his health since last 20 years. पिछले 20 साल दिन में वो 2 बार हॉस्पिटलाइज हो चुके हैं. Still, he made. I always say कि तुमको आना है. तो एक बार तो मैंने बोला इतने ज़्यादा तो स्टेजर पे आ जाना, लेकिन आ Rajesh Shah, Siddharth Shah, yes, with Rajesh sir, Meditab, we have very long relationship. He's a very good human being. A lot of activities are there in pipeline, and we look forward to very long association with Rajesh sir because of the personal engagement we have to leave early, but in his absence also. Same is with Siddharth Shah. He's our alumni, he's second generation, and he's doing very well. Samsa sir again is a friend, philosopher, guide. He is again like a family. He was busy with the CM sir. As soon as the function over, he came here. Thank you, sir. This is your very own department, and we look forward to having you here back in very short time. Deep, Rupal, Roshan Raval, we always believe as one of us. You are student here, and you are now very big backup role models for entire generations to follow. Thank you all for being here and for your patience. One more time, I thank every one of you to be here. Your inputs, your suggestions will be documented, and we will definitely try to make sure that every single word that you have spoken will be put in action so that our students, not only the EIMS, but the entire three branches, I always say three branches, MA Computer Engineering, BE Computer Engineering, and BE Computer Science and Engineering, all three will get it. So one more time, thank you all, and if there is any lacuna from our side, if there are any time mismanagement or anything from our side, I personally take the responsibility and apologize. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for introducing all the industrialists in a non-technical way. With this, we conclude our session by heartily thanking all the industrialists and academicians for sparing their valuable time with us and making this day worth memory for Computer Engineering Department of this prestigious college. Last but not the least, I would also like to appreciate all the students and volunteers for providing us their support, because of whom this event actually shaped into knowledgeable and successful event. So really thank you very much to everyone, and may you all have a good day ahead.